What an unbelievable series between the New York Subliners and the Florida Mutineers. In this one, I wanted to go through and I really wanted to focus in on breaking down map 4 because I felt like there were opportunity after opportunity for Florida to actually close out the series in that map 4, and Clayster clutched up, HYDRA clutched up. They were able to secure that checkmate hardpoint victory, and we're going to go through the last 2 or 3 rotations just because, again, there were so many important things that happened. I actually picked Florida to win that map, and I feel like right now Florida is proving that they're probably that 4th team if you're talking about the top 4 in power rankings. But with that, let's go ahead and let's just go through this series real quick, just map by map. Again, it was 3-2, one of the best series that we have seen all year. Shout out breakingpoint.gg for these match stats. If you haven't been there, go check them out. They do a really nice job of getting these up as soon as the matches are over. But overall series statistics, you can see basically from top to bottom, Skies played really well for Florida, but the biggest thing is that if you look up above for New York, nobody was really too high, nobody was too low. If you look underneath, didn't quite get the same series out of Awakening that we're normally used to seeing. Havoc didn't play great either, but Skies was an absolute terror all the way throughout. Look at the 5 maps, and it really goes to say, look how close everything was here. Again, map 1, 20-point victory here for Florida, the SNDs, and this is really where New York was able to make their money in this series, is that they were just better at SND overall. But the standoff SND 6-3, control went to round 5, Florida won. Again, this hard point, I really did think Florida was going to be able to get it done here, but they were not. But I do want to show you here, look at this, the individual stats for this hard point. You ready for this? This is a map. Remember, we're going to see it in just a second, that New York actually ended up winning. And look at these stats. Asim had a .53. Asim played really well on other maps. This standoff SND, he was 11-4, absolutely led the squad. Mac had an off map. But again, look at this map 4. HYDRA was 1.35, only outdone by Skies on the other squad, which, you know, sometimes you're going to get that from Skies. And then it went to that map 5 SND on Express, and New York just took over. But again, that map 1 is what, or that map 4, the last couple rotations there is what I really wanted to focus on. So in this one, we are going to go through and we're going to break that down, just the last few rotations, because there were some really clutch moments that ended up coming through really from both squads. Just one made just a few more than the other. So with that, let's go ahead, let's switch on over, and you can see right now, if we're just looking at everything as a whole, we're picking up, it is going back to P1 on this last set of rotations. And as we look at this, really the team that's going to end up winning this is going to go beyond P1, right? So we're currently inside of P1. It's going to go to P2, and the team that secures this back spawn right here is the team that's going to end up winning this match overall. So that's something to keep in mind. And as we go throughout P1 and furthermore as it rotates to P2, we're just going to be keeping a constant eye on who's winning that rotation. So let's go ahead and let's press play here. And as we are looking at this, you can see just from right now, there's a ton of stuff going on inside of the hill. That's a lot of what the observers are focusing on. But biggest thing at this point in time, I see the score top middle 203 to 198, and the thing that I'm looking for is, look at these green arrows. I'm always looking to see who is in position to come through and actually win as it rotates over to P2. And right now you have Awakening, you have Skies, they got this back spawn. Sure, they're pushing up to contest and put heat on New York as they're trying to get time inside of P1, but biggest thing is just who's going to be holding down that right hand side, and Neptune's doing a really nice job. These are all going to get traded out. It's going to go back and forth over and over again, but before you know it, there's going to be a super clutch play by somebody that you would just expect this person to make these plays. So right now, again, the time is ticking down inside of P1 here. You're really just who's going to hold that back spawn. And just as I had been talking there, let me go back just 5 seconds. You can see that a massive kill just came through. So it looks like stuff is kind of all over the place, but really this arrow right here, this is Clayster, and Clay was just able to get this kill right here on Awakening. And essentially what's going to happen here is that's going to open up the long flank down towards the bottom of the map. And if you just try to go this route right here over to P2, that's not going to be successful. So what a lot of main ARs or flexes try to do is just get that kill on the bottom side of the map and then just play the long game, get back behind here, kind of wait out the opportunity, wait for your teammates to push the front and help you. And as we go through, and let's just hit play here while we are still on this screen, again, a ton of stuff's happening, trades back and forth inside the point, but look at that number 6 arrow on the bottom. You can see he is starting to push, and as he pushes that bottom right hand side of the map, you can also see that he just got that kill on Awakening, and Awakening spawns out all the way over here towards P5. So as it looks right now, it's really easy to get caught up in what's happening inside the top plane P1 part of the map with all these back and forths with the SMG. But what's really happening and what's super important is that number 6 arrow pushing down through the bottom of the map. You can see in just a moment he gets that kill on Skies as Skies was trying to contest inside of P1. And right now there's just one person left. Neptune is over here just to the right. You can see that green number 4 arrow. Neptune is there, but he's going to get killed also as we go ahead and let this play out. Right there, Matt gets a kill, and with that, the entire right-hand side of the map is open. And at this point, it seems like, all right, this is basically a GG, right? Not only does New York have a lead, but they have control of mid-map. They have the spawns for next over at P2, and there's only 20 seconds left inside of this P2 as it's about to rotate over. P2 is absolutely the money hill here. You can see Asim, even though he's 17 and 34 right now, really didn't have the best map, but he was getting those kills. He was taking that time that was there inside of P1. And now if you're Florida, you've got to break this hill. And that's, again, something that is super tough to do. It is not easy to break P2, especially when, okay, New York is rotated. They have spawns. They're set up. They're on headies. You have to run right at them. And we're going to see what happens here. So Skies gets that opening kill on Clay. HYDRA goes ahead and trades that out. But right through the front, Awakening gets a kill. And little bit of an iffy spawn here. A lot of times what happens, you can see that Havoc just came through with this spawn right here. And a lot of that is just because everything inside the hill is so contested. And Clayster, who died first, spawned out over here towards the left. So that blocks this top left-hand part of the map off. So as we're watching this, Havoc was able to get that back spawn, and that's ultimately what's going to propel this opening push here from Florida. So pushes through the back. Skies is able to get that kill. The only saving grace right now for New York is just the fact that HYDRA is in the back. So again, remember, we mentioned that at the beginning, Clayster was able to make that really clutch play down towards the bottom of the map. But as we look at this now, you can see that white number 8 arrow. That is HYDRA, and he is just going to be sneaky as he pushes through. They're going to switch to him in a second. Right now, I mean, if you're Florida, everything looks perfect. You have spawns, you have hill time, you have successfully flipped this, which is unbelievably hard to do. But there's HYDRA in the back, and they're going to switch to him in just a moment right here. He's able to get the first kill. Asim also got a kill. Skies goes down, so HYDRA gets a 2-piece. Havoc is the only person that's left, and because this is so contested, look at the minimap, you can see that these green arrows for Florida, now they're spawning out, and because of the sneaky 2-piece from HYDRA and Asim getting the 1 kill in the front, this has now switched. Havoc is still in the back, but right there he gets killed, and now those right-hand spawns belong to New York. And at this point, if you're Florida, really all you can do is just push right through the front. Asim knows where they're coming from, so he just got a kill on Awakening and Neptune as they were trying to push the front of the hill. And at this point in time, everybody is there and you really only have one team push left. But Skies goes down, Mac is getting a kill. They're just, and again, I love this pressure from New York. They're not settling, they're pushing forward. They're not allowing New York to even get in to contest, and that's a really important part right there. We'll go back just 10 seconds, but as you're watching this, if you're New York, you very easily could have turtled up, just sat here, waited for the push through the front door. But if one person goes down, now that time's going to be contested. So rather than do that, you're going to see them push out in these areas of the map. And as they push out and move forward, that's where they're able to clutch up and really get those kills, which are the deciding factor. And right here towards the end, when they do go through and they bring up the cameras, you can see the guy's reaction, and Clayster is freaking out. You'll see it right here. Look at him. Look at Clayster right here. Everybody else, Asim doesn't have his camera because he's still playing up in Canada. But look at HYDRA, Mac. They're not saying anything, and you just see Clayster going off right there. So things you absolutely love to see. Really nice finish there out of New York. I did think that Florida was going to come through and end up winning this matchup. That was my picks from earlier in the week. They were super close. They're just not quite there in S&D, but their respawns are looking fantastic. So if you guys are new around here, you enjoy this sort of breakdown, make sure you go ahead, hit that subscribe button, leave a like if you don't mind, as it really helps out the channel. And with that, thank you guys so much. We'll see you in the next upload.